video games. Shut up. That's right, 6. Could have done just 5, but then I'd have to leave one out, and I'd feel badly about doing so. This isn't the time of year to feel badly, it's the time of the year to think back and reflect on another circuit about the sun and what effect that has on the world of video games, if any. Or I'm just going to sit here and yammer about a half dozen games that really stuck with me in my mind and in my various gaming platforms. This reminds me of a music anecdote.
Objection!
Alright, I'll go into the games. Coming in at... Wait, there should be a title here. No, a real title.
Kicking off the list is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, the glorious return of everyone's favorite legal eagle, his squawking sidekick, and this new chick. It'd been 5 years and change since our last proper appointment with the Write Anything agency, and folks like me were chomping at the bit. While the game itself is only available as a download, it's not for lack of effort or quality. Courtroom Antics make full use of the 3DS's capabilities with dynamic animations and an upgrade to what was already a fantastic musical score. 5 cases in total tell the tale of this newcomer Athena and her weird super hearing / emotion detection abilities, which seems weird until you consider that the established standard for this series is using a spiritually attuned piece of jewelry to see spectral chains about a witness's psyche. I have no objections. And if that wasn't enough, you can tack on DLC cases, feeding your craving for jurisprudence bit by bit. Oh, it's spiffy costumes. Speaking of spiffy costumes... 10 years ago, this game doesn't make it to the States. Heck, 5 or 3 years ago, it doesn't. But Sega asked the fans if the support was there for an honest-to-Yamaha Western release of Hatsune Miku Project Diva F, as opposed to the lowercase f version for the Vita that was apparently a bridge too far. Looking back on it, it barely makes sense. Japanese music games have been over in this country for some time. Heck, domestic music games have even taken a nosedive, with Rock Band Blitz being one of the lone attempts to revive the segment. And then this brightly colored, auto-tuned, dress-up monstrosity made landfall, packing a track list no one but the true diehards could recognize, and proceeded to kick the asses of any doubters down one side of the street and up the other. To paraphrase the dude from Ghostbusters, I've played every rhythm and music game known to man, but this beats me. It's part Elite Beat Agents, part Gitaru Man, part scripting language, and mostly a task to convince your friends that it needs to be taken seriously. Honestly, this might be the hardest music game I've ever played. And they'll point to the strange Diva Room mode where you give gifts to, and poke, and generally harass the Vocaloid of your choice. Yeah, that part's creepy, but I don't even notice it anymore because my eyes are bleeding from the thrashing extreme difficulty gave me. Speaking of bleeding... I'd use more footage from the typing of...
The typing of the Dead Overkill.
If I wasn't scared I'd have to go in and clean up the footage so as to avoid offending the delicate sensibilities of the interwebs. Typing the Dead don't give a Typing the Dead is here to improve your touch typing by offering negative reinforcement. Specifically that if you can't pound out these words quickly enough, you're gonna be mauled, mangled, and eaten alive by hordes of shambling undead. Delicious. It's all presented as a series of gritty grindhouse flicks, complete with film scratches and dust and loading scenes presented as intermission reels, like a Quentin Tarantino wet dream, really, just with typing. It's never actually explained or even depicted in any way like the Dreamcast original did with the strange backpacks and oversized Duracells. It's a little disappointing, but I don't care. It's new Typing of the Dead, complete with multiplayer modes, and... kinda lost my train of thought there. Anyway, I'm gonna go over there and be back later with the top 3 of 2013 as voted on by me, myself, and I'm gonna go now.
Oh, I don't like foreign food.
That was good. Damn it! Sorry, that was very good. I'm on camera now, Derek!